NFL on CBS from Ralph Wilson Stadium. And welcome, friends. Jim Nantz again with Phil Simms. Jets have won the toss, and they want the football. What do you see here at the start of this game?
Well, you know, anytime you come to Buffalo, the first thing that always comes to my mind is weather. So it's not a problem, so it won't affect the kicking game, and it won't affect the quarterbacks. And I think both teams feel like they can throw it on the other team's defense.
It's approaching 50 and sunny. Some breezes, but a beautiful day here in Orchard Park.
It's still a cold 50.
Man,
you know,
you're going to be begging for a day like this down the road.
You got to get used to it. You know, it's our first little shot of cold weather, and there was actually frost on this field, Jim, on the field earlier today. So,
Neion Washington, third in the league, kickoff returns. What a week he had against Kansas City, making big plays every quarter, and he gets past the first wave, and Neion Washington does it again, taking it almost out to the 40-yard line. Brett Favre a week ago leading the team to a fourth-quarter comeback victory, 41st time in his incredible career. He's had a come-from-behind victory. Faneca, the $40 million signing in the offseason, 4 first-rounders on that Jets offensive front. And Cotchery had his best game of the year, 9 catches, 102 yards against the Chiefs. So after a 40-yard kickoff return to start it, New York's coming out throwing. Pass deflected. Ryan Denny, 7-year man out of BYU, got a paw on it. Here is the Bills defense. Stroud, big trade in the offseason, bringing him over. He's a difference maker. Ozluzny in the middle, second-year man out of Penn State, makes the most tackles. McGee on one side, Greer on the other, Whitner and Simpson. It's a good secondary for the Bills. A second down and 10 for New York from the 39. And that's over to Neion Washington, and he's off and running inside the 40. Whitner has him down at the 20. Neion Washington, I thought at first that this might get knocked down for the second straight play by a lineman, but it got over to Washington, and it springs him from 40 yards.
Good point, Jim. You can tell the Buffalo Bills trying to get their hands up. They're fast, they're aggressive, so what do you do against a defense like that? Well, you throw screen plays, you run draws for the running game, you run reverses to make them think. That time they're just attacking, and that's why there was an avenue for the big play.
80 yards already in this game, all-purpose yards for Washington, 40-yard kick return, 40-yard reception. First down from the Bills, 21. Their first rush, Thomas Jones for 2. Mangold trying to help his teammate, pushing forward. Here's a little Phil Simms philosophy for you folks.
Well, let's do it for the New York Jets. Of course, they want to be dynamic with Brett Favre, but it's about let's protect the football a little better than we have in the past. A lot of players responsible for that. For Buffalo, they have fast players on the offensive and defensive side, and that's where they just get it in the hands of those guys and see if they can win the game. Defense can run to the ball. On offense, they got guys that can catch it and run.
Jets inside the red zone on second down and 8. They go with another short pass, and that was in the area of Thomas Jones. And again, Ryan Denny in there, creating a little confusion for the Jets.
Yeah, he was all over the screen again. You know, the Buffalo Bills, they do a defense that you hear me complain about. They'll let 3 defensive linemen go after the quarterback, and 1 defensive lineman will drop back and help in the passing game. It usually doesn't work for most teams, but it works very well for this Bills defense.
They send Dustin Keller, the rookie tight end, wide to the left. They go shotgun with their 2 star receivers to the right, Cotchery and Coles. Third down and 8. Pass, Keller, incomplete.
Pressure by the Bills defense. They're coming after the Jets. Dustin Keller, the tight end on the outside, the quick throw. They got a matchup. It's 1-on-1. You got to make that catch against the safety, Dante Whitner. Perfect throw, right on target where you want to put it as a quarterback. Would have been a first down if he'd have caught it.
Would have been first and goal to go. The pass, as you said, absolutely perfect. 37-yard try from Jay Feely. Feely knocks it through. So the Jets off a couple of big plays by Neion Washington. The kick return and the screen pass. It leads to an opening field goal.
Judges. Nice moves.
Billy White Shoes Johnson. Now, he had some nice moves.
Today, everybody's got a dance. T.O., Chad Johnson.
Oh, I love the river dance. He killed that.
That was a classic word. Talking about classics. How about the 85 Super Bowl shuffle?
Tune in to the best team in football. Sunday NFL Countdown on NASN.
Yeah, that opening sequence by the Jets, quieting the crowd. 6 plays, 42 yards, and a field goal by Feely.
Yeah, it quieted the crowd, but I think the Jets are going to the sideline going, hey, they're coming after us. A lot of pressure.
Leotis McKelvin waiting the kick from Feely. Buffalo coming off a loss last week down in Miami. And they turned it over a number of times at the end. And the Dolphins came from behind in the fourth quarter. Nice little move and cutting it to the right side. McKelvin breaks another tackle, and Brad Smith finally pushes him out of bounds. That was his specialty at Troy. Had 8 return touchdowns as a collegiate, and he goes 44 yards this time.
Yeah, you said it right, Jim. There is nothing there. The Jets are going to get him inside the 20-yard line, but McKelvin has done a good job all year long, and way to change it around for your offense. And what a nice move, and breaks the tackle there.
That was Vernon Golston.
Vernon Golston, first-round draft pick.
Pair of first-rounders meeting right there, and the Buffalo Bill returner winning that little battle and able to race it out to the 43. So the Bills start off at an excellent point. Little play action. Edwards wide open. He's got Lynch inside the 30, cutting back middle inside 20, down at the 15. 42 yards to Marshawn Lynch.
Well, the Jets, they got the wide receivers. They're worried about the speed. They got the coverage down the field. Oh, and David Bowens, I'm not sure if it was his guy. He thinks Marshawn Lynch is going to block. He wasn't when he snuck out of the backfield. It's too late. So one of the Jet linebackers had him in coverage. They came on the blitz. Somebody lost track of him. That's why he was wide open.
Revis finally brings him down. Longest reception of Lynch's career, and he's going to get the handle and pick up just a yard. Running into Coleman. Trent Edwards 10-6 as a starter. So this marks career start 17, if you will, the start of his second season as a starter. We've been talking about that all week. That offensive line, it's a big one. Tall, wide. That's Dockery, who's never missed a game in his career. And Lynch with 6 touchdown rushes on the season, already with a big play in this game, setting up the Bills in the red zone. Roscoe Parrish, you're on a wing to the left. They're without Josh Reed today, and it's something we'll be talking about. As it's a straight pass play with pressure, and the pass batted away by Lowry of the Jets. It was intended for Roscoe Parrish, and there is a flag. Dwight Lowry, the rookie from San Jose State.
Pass interference. Defense number 34. Penalized at the spot of the foul. And a first down.
A little too close, and they call it. Ron Winter and his crew on hand here at Ralph Wilson Stadium.
Yeah, Roscoe Parrish, number 11, watching outside, stops, comes underneath. Good job by Dwight Lowry. He is all over it. Just barely mistimes the contact. Gets over the back. He has it covered. But when you're trying to knock a pass down, the timing's got to be perfect. And Lowry just a little bit there before the catch.
Timeout called by Edwards and the Bills. They have first and goal to go from the 9. 3-0 New York.
Let's go, baby! Woo! Yeah, everybody today making plays. Everybody making plays. Come on, come on, come on. Went the long way around, and he was patting it, and I just put it on our shoulders, put it on my shoulders. Let's go. We need to make a play. We need to make a play. setup. I'm not going to call it.
The ball in the air, and it's intercepted.
Played your tail off, man.
Thanks,
I'm
brother.
so proud. I'm happy for you. Everything's happened, man. I'm so happy for you.
Thanks. I wish you the best.
A gorgeous, clear day here in Orchard Park, New York, Western New York, and the Bills on opening drive scores 4 of the last 6 games and certainly ready to do it again.
You know what that means, don't you? Really, when I look at opening drive scores, of course it talks about your talent, but it's about really good game planning and preparation and picking the right place to start out a game.
So here we go, 1st and goal for Buffalo, set up on a 42-yard pass play to Lynch. Edwards looking all kinds of time now, rolling right, wide open, touchdown Buffalo. Derek Fine with the reception.
How did he get so wide open? I lost track. I'm looking down the field. Oh, nobody was covering Fine right from the start, and he realized it, and he pulls up and stops. And the pass protection is so good that Trent Edwards is able to find him. Because he was not the first option. It was a crossing route. He was probably the third. Nobody's open. Look for your tight end in the back of the end zone, and there he was.
The rookie from Kansas with his first career catch. And it goes for 6. Ryan Lindell has still never missed a point after in his career. Derek Fine, drafted in the 4th round, finds a touchdown. First time the Bills have it today.
Brady's down. His left knee's holding it. He's down at the 50-yard line. He's in pain.
The crowd is holding its collective breath as the biggest nightmare scenario.
He's just going to be missed. I mean, he's the leader on the field. One guy can't stop the show.
You know, I have a lot of confidence in that, and everybody else has to continue to do their job.
I'm not trying to be Tom Brady. I'm just trying to be Matt Castle, and I don't know where that's going to take us right now.
I don't know if they're doomed, but they're not going to the Super Bowl.
We're still the team to beat in this division, and we'll see what happens.
Well, let's play quarterback in the NFL. How do you get a touchdown pass? Tight end goes here. Wide receiver underneath. That's 1 and 2. And if they're not open, look for Fine in the end zone. The tight end, nobody covers him for the Jets. They get confused on the motion by the Buffalo Bills offense. 2 receivers go with Lee. 2 defenders go with Lee Evans across the field. He is their #1 threat. And that leaves Derek Fine wide open. 2 mental breakdowns by the Jets in that scoring drive.
Well, the first one was the one to Lynch. And those 2 teaming up here side by side. Lynch in his 2nd year out of Cal, his career-long catch, setting up Fine's first career catch. And a touchdown. Kick, it's a liner and one that's trying to menace Washington. And it staggers him for a second, but again, he weaves past the 30 to the 31. How do you cope when your world turns upside down? You don't want to miss a new episode of Monday's #1 drama, CSI Miami. It's tomorrow on CBS, America's most watched network. Favre and the Jets, the first time they had it. They had a little screen pass to Leon Washington. Could have had a 1st and goal to go inside the 10, but the pass was dropped. Settled for a field goal. Wide to the left is Robert Turner, now coming in on a wing to the left, a backup guard in a new formation, new wrinkle. They go to Kotchery, and he's just shy of a 1st. That was a bit odd to see. I look out to that left side. I see number 75 split wide as a receiver. They shift him over to a wing.
Yeah, just try. And what it makes you think. So I said, here he comes in motion. I go, well, it's got to be a run to his side. That's why they put him in there. But it's just a distraction. Trying to deceive the defense to get Brett Favre an easier throw to the other side of the field. And you know what? It worked.
It worked. 2nd and inches, and flags are down as they get it over to Keller. Everyone's standing around like the play was dead. Kavika Mitchell had pushed him out. Let's see what Juan Winter says.
Illegal motion. Correction. Illegal motion. Offense. Number 86 was not set at the snap. A 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
That's Chris Baker. And if you're going to be an offense, and right from the start of this game, you can see the Jets, they got a few new wrinkles, some different formations. You got to know what you're doing. You got to get out there and get set. Because Brett Favre went on a quick count, trying to get rid of the football to catch the defense before they can react.
Quick snap and quick penetration by that defense. Leon Washington making something out of absolutely nothing there. It was going to be a tackle for a loss, and he's just a few inches shy of a first down. It'll be third down, about a half-yard to go.
Understatement. Look at the pressure of this Bills defense. 5 guys on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Leon Washington, yep, you said it, he's got some talent. Not the tallest running back in the NFL, but powerful, fast, can break tackles, and he can outrun you. Pretty good combination.
Brad Smith in for the Jets. Wide left. Jones, the tailback. Third in the foot. And this time they break through that line again and make the stick. Kelsey came up. Scott up there as well. There's Ryan Scott, and they stop the Jets.
Buffalo's the faster team. They outflank them to the left. And that's Brian Scott. Just times the snap count. No chance to get back to the line of scrimmage. And that's what you worry about when you play the Bills. They attack and come across the line of scrimmage the whole game.
Reggie Hodges with pressure, got it away. Parrish now for a catch call, 15-yard line. When they met twice last year, there were no first-half touchdowns scored in either game. We have one here today. Look how close they came. That was Wilson almost getting to it. 7-3 Bills.
Don Merriman was struggling Sunday, playing with a knee that all doctors agreed was in need of major reconstructive surgery.
I don't think anyone knew exactly how his knee would react when he played. It's hard to tell a guy to sit down. He's not able to do what he is capable of doing.
We are back in Buffalo, and the Bills' second possession. Trent Edwards over the last 2 weeks, including 2 completions and a touchdown today, is 23 of 26 on first down when he throws. And he's going to do it here. No, he's not. He fumbles the football, and the Jets recover. It's Rivas who knocked it out and recovers it.
What a good call by the New York Jets. That stat alone tells you why you got to change up on first down. So they come with the blitz. Darrelle Revis from the quarterback's right. The play is designed to every receiver that he's looking at is to his left, so he never sees it. Oh, and it's too late. Corey McIntyre sees the blitzer, but he's so far inside he can't get outside to knock Revis off the quarterback.
You know, he had those fumbles, Edwards did, down at Miami last week. Twice in the fourth quarter, plus a pick. But that's Revis blitzing from the outside, jolting the ball loose.
Yeah, nothing he could do there, Jim. Nope. You're gonna fumble when you get hit like that. Should have been picked up.
And the Jets now at the 6. Leon Washington in. And the ball's down. Blake Washington may have recovered it and did. So a sloppy sequence there for New York, but they have it, 2nd and goal.
Yeah, was it a bad snap? It's a little bit low, there's no question. And the other thing too, we talked about at the start of the game, you know, it feels colder than 50 degrees just because you're just not used to it, Jim. The weather's changing, and when it does, for quarterbacks and people who enter the football, it does get a little slippery sometimes.
29 trips into the red zone. Their defense has forced a lot of turnovers. That's the reason for so many visits down this way. Not great percentages, but here they go. Little pump fake and a toss. Favre hit when he threw it. In the area of Cotchery, that was Spencer Johnson with the pressure.
Yeah, Jim, it didn't matter. It didn't matter if he had all day. Nobody open. It is tremendous coverage down the field. They even tried to give it the old pump fake. And you're the quarterback. Tell me where you're going to throw it. Double coverage on the guy underneath. Double coverage on the back. Boy, the Bills, good scouting, being ready for the formation by the Jets.
And they cash in with a touchdown off the Edwards fumble. 3rd and goal from the 8. All kinds of time. Now, the 39-year-old flings it through the back of the end zone. Just nothing open.
Nope, you said it right. Again, Brett Favre does a good job, gets out of the pocket. The initial pass protection, very good. But Buffalo watching the quarterback, well, the initial receiver. Sorry, the underneath was covered. Probably what you do is you look in the back of the end zone. The underneath receivers were covered, but in the NFL, that receiver that runs about on the back of the end zone is the guy that usually gets open.
Feely from 26. His 2nd of the quarter. Just 7 minutes into the game. 7-6. Bills over the Jets.
NHL on NASN. Ottawa and Washington, 2 teams loaded with skilled players. But in the 07 playoffs, both went home after the first round. The Capitals take on the Senators. Followed by Minnesota-San Jose, a live NHL doubleheader, Tuesday on NASN.
Down in completion was the 9,000th attempt of his career.
Those numbers don't look real.
It was actually caught. You just didn't realize it, did you?
Oh, yeah, no, I did.
The Bills' mascot.
One with a big head.
Got some furry paws on it. With Kelvin. Another good return. About to 31, Wallace right on the tackle.
Jim, I want to show you sometimes you got to be lucky. Brett Favre looks to this side, and you watch the wide receivers covered. But if he'd have picked the other side, watch Lavernius Coles as he is wide open in the back of the end zone. And so many plays are designed like this in the NFL. Drop back, look down the middle, and you got to know if you're going to go right or left. He decided to go to the right side, and nobody was open. But like you said,
somebody was open.
That was a nice catch.
Does not count as a pick. From the 30. Another ball free. Lynch never got it cleanly. But they recovered through the Bills. You know, the Jets had forced only 10 takeaways on the season coming into this game. 7 of them were in one game, the game against Arizona. They've already had 1 takeaway in this first quarter.
Oh, look at that. There's a mix-up between Lynch and Edwards. Which side is he going to take the handoff from? It looked like the running back should have gone to the right and cut back to the left.
Lynch recovered it in the end.
Yeah, they're lucky.
2nd down and 9. That's about 2 yards shy of the first. Robert Royal with the catch. Update time, James Brown's in New York.
Jim and Phil, Baltimore looking for the sweep this season over Cleveland. Take a look at Joe Flacco on this play action. Fellas, 2nd play after a Cleveland fumble up top to Mark Clayton, who bounces it to the end zone for the Ravens. Ravens on top of Cleveland, 10-0 late in the first. Back to Jim Nance. Phil Simms.
Cleveland coming off a big win last week down at Jacksonville, but already beaten once this season at Baltimore by the Ravens. 3rd down here, and that's Lynch who's going to have the first down. Edwards zipped it to his running back. Calvin Pace chases him out, but not until he gains 5, and it's a first.
Yeah, just watch Trent Edwards. He looks down the field, nobody open, but watch how crisp his short throw is. That compact motion right on the running back, so you catch it and you can run right away and get the first down. But again, watch the motion. Nothing wasted. That's why he hits such a high percentage of his first down passes, Jim.
Lynch now with 2 grabs for 47 yards. Most receiving yards in a game for him, and he tries to shake off a couple of hits, but not able to run away from Revis. We've got another update. It's the Bears and the Lions this time, JB.
And take a look at the Bears. Kyle Orton, I know Phil will agree with this. Boy, is he playing well. Looking, decides to take off, Jim, on a 5-yard jaunt to the pay dirt. first rushing touchdown of his career. That caps a 10-play, 58-yard drive. 10-0 Chicago over Detroit late in the first. Jim and Phil.
All right, those updates almost instantaneous. You know, we just saw a minute ago JB's update on the Ravens with that touchdown pass to Clayton. Then the Browns turn around and ran the kickback. Cribs for the touchdown. So action fast and furious everywhere, including here in Buffalo as Edwards stands in the pocket and hits the backup running back Freddie Jackson, who was tackled at the 50. There is a flag. Moreeeee of the Jets with the hit. He heads to the sidelines.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 99 defense. 15-yard penalty and a first down.
Called it on Brian Thomas. That's going to be 15 big yards, setting up the Bills at the New York 35.
Wow. Well, if Eric Mangini is writing down the mistakes that he doesn't like so far here in the first quarter, he might have to turn that card over. Because 2 blown coverages, a bad shotgun snap, and then a personal foul when you're trying to take the crowd out of this game and get rid of the rhythm of this Buffalo offense right now.
Jackson, the running back, first down and movement. And that'll stop it.
Encroachment. Defense number 77. A 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
That's big Chris Jenkins.
Yeah, Chris Jenkins, what happens is the Bills, when they send their tight ends in motion, he sees him behind the quarterback, made him jump.
Some heavy hitting right there. Jenkins holding him for no gain. Back to you, James in New York.
Hey, Jim, you just told your viewers about it. Here's a visual embellishment. Joshua Cribbs of Cleveland answering right back, finds a seam, and speeds his way right through rush hour traffic there. 92 yards to the house. That narrows the score 10-7. Boy, what a run. 92 yards. Back to Jim and Phil.
All right, thank you, JB. Outstanding. Keep those updates coming. We've got a 2nd and 5 here for Buffalo.
Did I hear JB say he took it to the house?
He did. Took it to the dog pound. Did that make you happy? Jackson lined up as a receiver to the right, Lynch in the backfield. They dump it in there, short on the slant to Evans for 4. About a yard shy of a first.
Well, you look at this Buffalo offense. I said it in the opening, second year, plays with such confidence. Of course, he's leadership, captain of the football team, but that compact throwing motion, they do a good job of designing a lot of plays where they take advantage of the fact that he can just get it out of his hand about as fast as any quarterback in the NFL right now.
He is 6 for 6 on the game. Looking for a long yard on 3rd down from the New York 26. Into a pile. What an effort. Just driving the legs. That's Lynch. Looked like he was stuffed. He was able to pull off 2 yards and a first down.
Yeah, that's you said it all as you watch a replay. It's just about effort and want to, and he wants to get it done. The legs don't stop, keeps running, and it's a big first down for this Buffalo Bills offense. Jets got to quit making mistakes if they want to get off the field.
And the Jets have had a personal foul penalty already on this series. And offside as Edwards looks to throw on first down. The pass low, scooped off the ground cleanly by McIntyre. The catch loses a yard. Log on right now to CBSSports.com. Get the latest scores, stats, and breaking news from all around the league in our live game center. We keep it in front of us right here in the booth every Sunday. CBSSports.com. Steve Johnson has come in. Reinforcement in the receiving corps for Edwards and the Bills. 2nd and 11. screen pass dropped by Jackson.
That's what the Bills said. Oh, because it's trouble. He could have walked into the end zone. They've got him fooled. That's what screenplays are about. Good deception. Let them think they're getting a good pass rush. And there is nobody in front of Jackson going to the end zone. It's going to be a race. I know you hear that a lot, but I got a good view. It was going to be a race to the end zone.
You can see it off right here. Third down and 11. And Dockery had a good block on Barton coming up, and now Edwards is throwing it away as two Jets were running in on him. That was Rhodes.
Good defense, pressure defense by the Jets stopped the play. It was going to be the shovel pass. The penetration by the defensive line stopped it. Probably got an illegal man down the field because it took so long.
Flags at the 20-yard line. Jets signaling it's against Buffalo. Ryan Lindell's already coming out onto the field for the Bills.
Seen Sean Ellis so far today. Doesn't have a sack, but he has pressured Trent Edwards 3 times. The Jets are going to.
And down from man downfield, number 68 offense. A 5-yard penalty. Repeat third down.
Well, the Jets go ahead. They take the penalty back to the 30-yard line.
Watch the shovel pass first, Jim. Going. Nope. Brian Thomas knocks him down. Now Logan Mankins. Not Logan Mankins. For the Buffalo Bills, Langston Walker, I should say, was downfield. That calls the penalty. The Jets took it because they want to push him out of field goal range.
So instead of giving them a chance at a 43-yard field goal, they make them replay the down with a chance for bigger conquest, and they take advantage. It's Parrish. Now the Jets rue that decision. 22 yards and first and goal to go.
You know, you're right, Jim. This is the chance you take. And Roscoe Parrish, what a nice move to the inside, breaks out, and he is wide open. Trent Edwards with the perfect throw. And that is the big chance you take, that you're allowing them to not only pick up more yards than the 5 that you penalize them for, worst case scenario, get that first down.
Wow, first and goal to go. Lynch stacked up. Thomas is not letting go. Nor is DeVito. And it loses a yard. What about that decision? Again, it would have been a field goal just outside of 40 yards if they declined the penalty.
It was a tough one, you know, and I can't second guess because I should have talked about it before they ran that play. I would have let them kick the field goal, though, Jim, and not taking that chance because so many things, completions, a penalty on your defense, you know, illegal contact, whatever, give you an automatic first down. Let them kick the long field goal and see if they can make it.
11 out of 21 times in the red zone. Touchdowns, the end result. Second and goal. Good fake by Edwards. Royal with the catch. Ball knocked out. Well, they give him a catch and a fumble out of bounds. From Elam. Now they're going to rule it incomplete. Elam was the one who jarred it out.
Good play action fake, but the Jets being aggressive so far today. The front 7 doing a pretty good job, but what they got to get better play out of, they got to cover better down the field, and they can't make mistakes in who they're covering down the field. Kind of been a little bit of the story of their football season. They've gotten very good against the run, struggling when they don't get pressure on the quarterback to cover receivers.
And another quick jump, Jenkins across. He's already been flagged once on this series, but this time they're motioning. It's against the Bills.
False start. Offense. Center. Illegal snap. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
They've got Duke Preston starting for Melvin Fowler today at center. Illegal snap is the infraction.
Oh, yeah, you see the flinch. Chris Jenkins.
No wonder you're busting across.
What did Derek Mangini tell us the first game of the year? Chris Jenkins is the best in shape, quickest, most athletic 350-pound man he's ever seen. And he is one He is large, as you found out last night.
We got an update on that. It's now 360. Okay.
That's close.
Edwards on 3rd and goal, picked off. It's Abram Elam, and he's going all the way. Unless Lynch, look at Lynch chasing him down. 10, 5, got there. Touchdown Jets. Chris Jenkins with the hit on Edwards. And Elam in a full sprint. Lynch had an angle on him. Made a great effort to get there, but it's a return over 90 yards long.
Pressure on the quarterback, and then we've seen it quite a bit today. And Trent Edwards, when you pressure a quarterback, what's it do? Of course, it takes down the amount of time that they have to make a decision of where they're going to throw it. And that lack of decision time, he threw it right into double coverage, and they get the interception for the touchdown.
92-yard return. Just what happened against the Jets last week. Now one goes their way. Abram Elam for the touchdown. Park, I thought for a minute we might have a Ben Watson chasing down Champ Bailey kind of a moment. Marshawn Lynch was zeroing in on Abram Elam, but Elam able to take it. What did JB say? It's exactly the same thing.
4 touchdowns.
Yep.
But you know, it's interesting. On the penalty that the Jets took, remember Trent Edwards threw the deep out to Roscoe Parrish that got a big first down. So the Jets go, okay, you're going to throw it to the inside receiver? I'm going to show you in a minute. They double the inside receiver. It's clever. Trent Edwards does not see it, and that's why they got a touchdown for the New York Jets.
That was the last play of the first quarter. 92-yard return.
So, you know, you call that adjustments, experience, whatever you want. Good play call by the Jets.
McKelvin able to step aside from the first hit, and then ridden down by Murrell.
Well, let me show you how this interception occurs, Jim. Here's Roscoe Parrish. He's going to go down and go in and come out. They think it's one-on-one coverage, but watch Elam in the back has him double covered, and he baits Trent Edwards into the throw. Just sits there, and then as soon as he looks, he makes the break. And even though Roscoe Parrish slipped, it would not have mattered. He was going to cut in front of him and get that interception regardless. And you see Lynch, good hustle by him. Almost gets the tackle.
Jenkins flattened Edwards after the throw. And now the idea to accept the penalty, just pure genius. Right? It leads to a Jets touchdown. Now first down run, Jackson. Tackled at the 40. We've got another update coming out of the studio in New York with James Brown.
Jim and Phil, Cincinnati hoping for its first victory of the season. Ryan Fitzpatrick at QB, little fade pattern there, hooking up with Chad Johnson for the second time today. 4th touchdown toss of the season for Fitzpatrick, 4th for Chad Johnson. 14-0 Cincinnati over Jacksonville. Jim and Phil.
Now the Bengals get the big start today, trying to get rid of that bagel on the record. And no gain this time for Jackson. Let's do a little CBS player tracker. How far did he run?
He keeps looking for somebody. He's doing the weave.
He was looking over his right shoulder most of the time for Parrish, and he looked over to the left and said, uh-oh, here comes Lynch.
Yeah.
Well, officially 92, but he added another 3-4 yards to it in total. 3rd down 3 for Buffalo. Just outside the 40. Gets the first down. Well thrown, well timed. Royal with the reception. Lowry rides him down. Wednesday night on Showtime. Every Wednesday. You can see my man Phil Sim and James Brown, along with Chris Collinsworth, Warren Sapp, all the best and highlights, insights, and more. Inside the NFL, only on Showtime on Wednesdays. On 1st first down. Edwards play action, freezes the defense over the head of Evans. Another update from the studio in New York with James.
Hey, Jim, you know all too well it's been an inconsistent Viking squad this year, but take a look at Gus Frerotte looking, drilling that 8-yard bullet to Sidney Rice, capping a 13-play, 47-yard drive. Minnesota breaking the tie. They're up 14-7 in the second. Jim and Phil.
All right, JB, yes, it has been a little up and down. Frerodte's already thrown one for the other side in this game as well. He was picked earlier. Texans returned it for a touchdown, much like what we had here just moments ago with Elam of the Jets, putting New York ahead 13-7. And Jackson advances the ball into New York territory with a run of 4. David Barrett on the hit.
You know, it's interesting, since Trent Edwards threw that interception, you just go, okay, they're going to settle it down and let him get his feet back on the ground and get his confidence going and try to give him decisions where he knows it's not too complicated. Pick a guy that's covered man-to-man and throw it to him if he's open. And try to keep, of course, always for any team, third downs, try to keep it somewhere under 7 yards gives you a much better chance.
Well, it's 3rd and 6 right here, Phil. Down the field, complete. Inside the 30 with Lee Evans.
Well, Lee Evans for the Buffalo Bill is the receiver that can do it all. To the top of your screen to the right. Of course, it's a beautiful throw by Trent Edwards. But they got him double covered. It does not matter. His speed makes defenders get away from him. And then you take a guy that can run as fast as he can, and he can run good routes, make sharp cuts. It's really almost impossible to cover unless you have 2 guys doing it.
Buffalo offense, look at that, on the field for 20 consecutive plays. Netting 7, though, for the New York side. And that Jet line, which has really changed things this year. The Jets' rush defense, 4th best in the league.
It is, and Chris Jenkins inside. So that makes almost all running plays from tackle to tackle, it's just hard to get done because he takes up 2 blockers, he penetrates, and he can get off blocks and make tackles. And what an acquisition by the Jets. It has changed their defense. They've gotten, like you said, good against the run. Now you got to start defending the pass a lot better.
Lynch has been sitting out this series with the Bills since the interception return. Fake pass over to Johnson. Shoved out by David Barrett, 2 yards short of the first.
Tell you what makes it tough too, Jim. Besides the speed that this Buffalo receiving corps has, they have a lot of it, but they do a lot of plays. And they give you formations. They got about 6 different offensive players that can, you get the football in their hands. They can get good yardage for you. So as a defense, hard to really zero in and say we want to just attack this. That can ruin the game. That's just
look at this.
True.
A little wildcat formation. Edwards lined up to the right. Jackson is the quarterback. Takes the snap and he's going to run left. Has the first.
I've never seen you so excited.
The rage in the NFL this year.
Oh, the rage.
Introduced by the Dolphins. Now everyone says, I want to try that.
Yeah, in the Buffalo Bills, they've had this in. We saw it on practice on Friday. And Fred Jackson very good at it. And what really makes it work, you're giving it to a running back, an explosive player. Look at that, 3 receivers to the left. The blocking's not that great, but it doesn't have to be great to pick up 3 or 4 yards.
As Lynch sits on the bench, head covered in a towel as his team is driving inside the 20. Edwards will have to just dive down, and that'll be registered as a sack. David Bowens. Lynch, now we're hearing from the Bills, is under the weather. He's feeling sick. Of course, in a full sprint chasing after Elam the last time he was on the field.
Yeah, well, we're not sure if that's what caused him not to feel well. Could have been feeling a little under the weather when he came into the game today and get hit a few times and chase a defensive back 95 yards might do it to you too.
And timeout called by the Bills. Inside the 20 they are, trailing 13-7. time of possession in this game coming off the Bills' second used timeout. You look at the numbers and consider that how often do you see a team on the field for almost a full quarter? That's, if you take it into account now, 24 consecutive plays, 14 minutes and 3 seconds. The Bills' offense has been on the field. It's a second down and 12. Need to get to the 7 for the first. Jackson turns the corner, has the first, goal to go. Well, let's see, it's close. Let's see. I think he's actually going to be a little shy. Jason Whittle, one of the key blocks over on that right side.
Well, it looked like the Jets had this figured out. And Trent Edwards, oh, there you go. He just fires it in there. And then Jackson, what a compliment to Lynch. Able to catch the football, does a good job with screens, can line up as a wide receiver, and a terrific runner with the football once he gets it in his hands.
Turk Schoner, the offensive coordinator.
Boy, he's calling a good game, really keeping the Jets defense off balance. A lot of short throws, mixing in.
Inches to go on third down. Edwards still has the football. Looks for another option, throws it over the head of everyone. Double team was Lee Evans. Now what will they do on fourth? And looks like about 4 or 5 inches.
Well, when you throw a pass in that situation, what it tells me, you're going for it on fourth down. You're trying to catch the defense off guard. It's a good play call. You try to score, and you believe that you can pick up a short 4th and 1. I agree with this decision. I would have done it the same way.
They bring in the big fullback, Corey McIntyre. Johnson. The hole is plugged initially, and I don't think they gave him the spot. Guy coming in from the top. And it looks like both of them may have
a good initial.
Marshawn Lynch, by the way, going in. Chain gang to see that's 30. My eyes are Jet football. Failed. You will. 15:08. Way out to the 13.
No, I haven't heard of that. Jim, I just want to go back. People are going to say, well, would you have done it? Down 13-7. Winning the game, you want to get in control one more time. A chance. Good.
Ball tip. Jabari Greer.
Talked about in the opening, Jabari. They put pressure on him. And outside. You let them win the one-on. It can ruin your whole. Stop your running game.
Two. 7. Catch by Cole. First down today.
Favre wanted to go to his right. It's a good adjustment. But it's a catch. His hand. Bill coaches.
This challenge. They're 0 for 4 when it comes to challenges. They're one remaining. It's almost like
Buffalo's
pulled
challenge
it up so
ruling. The ruling on the field stand. The ball did not touch the catch. Buffalo.
Bills
First
now out
down.
of timeouts, and they're 0 for
Winner, say it. Lavernius Coles. And you know, it wasn't a great decision. It was kind of away, so you take that chance.
first down. Hatchery. Bo Simpson.
Well, what they do, in Denny just chases defense that pursues scrimmage. They don't worry about which reads it. And
held onto that block. The toss. Missing Thursday's heralded or Thursday after CSI. They're down at
home. You look at the Jets.
From the gun. For a second makes the.
But they got a little drive going. But the coverage. Receivers out to the right. A tough catch by Cotchery, but
Tight coverage, but Cotchery.
See it when you watch it.
They extend the drive. Woody, one of those on the right side, helping that play pick up 6.
And when you watch, too, the Jets, a lot of short passes, getting rid of it quick. It does a lot of things. It makes the quarterback's decisions easy. They're doing that. It doesn't allow Brett Favre to get hit and try to cut down on those errors. And you got to do this against the defense that you're worried about. You got to pick your spots when you want to throw it deep down the field.
Jets spread it out on 2nd down and 4. Stepping away from the pressure and finding his man. It's Coles with another grab, and the Jets have a first down. That is Coles' 600th career reception.
Good job by Brett Favre and Lavernius Coles. Hurry up offense for the Jets. Buffalo's defense, for one of the few times today, did not try to pressure the Jets offense.
And another connection for New York. Picks up 9 with Patry. You know, we talked to Brett Favre yesterday about all the hits he's been taking. You know, is he physically feeling a little more than usual worn down at the midway point? And he said it actually probably feels a little bit better than he has the last couple of years. 2nd and 1. That's Neion Washington, hoping they'll give him the mark. Mitchell on the hit.
Well, I'll say this about Brett Favre. When you talk about him getting hit, Jim, and it becomes a big issue for everybody that critiques football games.
They got too many men on the field. I don't think those Bills defenders were anywhere close to being on that sideline. There is no flag. That was Favre trying to quick snap and catch it.
Well, let me answer this real quick about Brett Favre. He did say he feels better, but it's his age, changing football team, all the years he's played is why it's become such a big issue.
You know what? That's a smart play here by Mangini.
Challenging a number of defenders on the field, which is, of course, you're allowed to do to go to instant replay to see.
So instead of a 2nd and 9, he's going to try to win this challenge and have a 1st and 5. There were 2 Bills trying to make it to the sideline at time.
Yeah, it's pretty close, too. Watch as they run off the field. Brett Favre, watch him look to his left. He sees him, tries to quick snap it.
The Jets have challenged the ruling on the field, but the offense is in it, pardon me, the defense is in illegal formation.
Illegal formation, meaning too many players on the field. 2:25 to go after a big stand at the other end. The Jets offense driving. Reviewing and looking to see if the Jets called, in fact, the proper challenger. Were the Bills off the field in time? Copeland Bryan and Chris Ellis before the ball was snapped, and you can see they weren't.
They were not. Good challenge by Eric Mangini.
After review, the defense did not get their substitutions off the field. Therefore, it is illegal substitution, 12 men on the field, defense, a 5-yard penalty. It will be 1st down at the 25.5-yard line. The Jets are not charged with a timeout. Please reset the game clock to 2:49. The game clock will start on the ready for play.
I'm talking to Eric Mangini last night about things that happen for a team when things just click in. It comes a time in a season when collectively everyone has to decide, make a conscious decision where we're going to go as a team. He says you don't know if it's going to happen, you know, this week, next week, but when you get the perspective of looking at the end of the year and saying this was the crucial time where things really got in gear for us, this seemed to be something that was a mantra for him going into this week. Think of some things that happened in this first half here today. The Elam interception, or the
stopping them on 4th down.
Exactly, the stop just a short while ago.
Well, there's always a defining moments in season for all teams, Jim. And you're right, a lot of times it doesn't work. But when do your players just decide this is it? The Jets, a veteran team, a lot of money, veteran free agents bought in. It's time for them to put it together.
Running it up the middle, and a big burst of speed with Thomas Jones. Galloping inside the 15 and a 1st down. That'll bring it to the 2-minute warning after the run for 11. Right up the middle they go. Jets lead it and looking for more. Coming out of the 2-minute warning, Jim Nantz and Bill Sims here at Ralph Wilson Stadium. Turner, an eligible receiver on the right side. Favre goes left though, and in and out of the fingertips. A catchery that was well defended by Jabari Greer.
You know, Jim, you look at this game and you're the Buffalo Bills. You're losing 13-7. You're trying to stop the Jets from scoring a touchdown here before halftime. Then you go, well, let's take 20 plays out of the first half. Well, they executed 18 of them almost perfectly. But when they've made mistakes, the interception and not getting it on 4th down, they have been huge for them. So can they find a way somewhere in this game again to get back to dominating physically like they were for a while?
On 2nd and 10, they run it. And they are not rewarded. Lesney makes the quick hit on Neion Washington.
Well, I gave him some energy, and that's what you need. Somebody to make a play that gets the crowd excited and gets your team fired up and gives them hope. And puts the other team in a tough situation, 3rd and long for the New York Jets.
Jets went ahead and ran it, as they know Buffalo. They don't want to leave them any time here, and they have no timeouts, the Bills.
Right, good. That's right. They're going to take it down. Brett Favre's going to call a timeout with 1 second left on the play clock.
They'll have a 3rd and 12 when they come back. Beginning to get the football down to the 4 for a first.
Well, it's been a good drive by the New York Jets so far here, marching down the field, but Brett Favre is working to try to get his team in the end zone. Nothing is easy. Tight windows, firing it in there, and this is nothing the Jets did not expect. This drive, he's 5 for 7 for 47 yards. They had great respect for the Buffalo Bills defense that penetrates into the backfield and the speed of their defensive backs and their ability to cover wide receivers.
Time of possession before this drive for New York is 5 minutes total, and yet it's still led because of that interception return. They've had it now this drive almost 7 minutes. They lead the league in drives that last over 5 minutes. They've got another one going here. They like to keep it going with 1:12 to go in the half. Patry, wide receiver screen. Nowhere to go. McGee has a hold of him. Pushes him back to the 20. They want, well, they got the quick completion, stayed in bounds, and they'll just run it down. They'll try a field goal, leaving little time for the Bills.
Look at that defense, though, Jim. It's one. Just count them up. How many people get around the football and swarm? And it's a good play call by the Jets, playing very safe, try not to make mistakes. Time, there's a lot of issues. They dealt with them all.
Again, coming up, we got the Sprint halftime report. JB, Dan, Shannon, and Boomer, Coach Power. All the scores and highlights from around the league coming up. So they called the timeout in 23 seconds. Yes, they went for the sure catch. Incompletion still would have left the Bills with 1 minute to go in the half. Says they can't stop it. They run it down instead with the sure grab, although the gain was nothing. It'll bring Feely out for the 3rd time. They've been inside the red zone now 3 times in this game, and they've to this point settled for 2 field goals, looking for a 3rd.
Yeah, but that last play call, look, there's a lot of reasons why you do it. You look at the first half and go, we really haven't played very well, except for a couple plays. We're leading, we can go in. Okay, at worst, let's make it 16-7. We've had some issues protecting Brett Favre. It's not like you're just running by these defensive backs or getting wide open. So you make a conservative, safe play call. That's what they did. They get a field goal try on it.
It'll be a 37-yarder for Feely. Kick, look out. It is no good. Wide left.
And everything you were trying to avoid to keep momentum away from Buffalo and keep their emotions down and keep this crowd out of it, well, you gave everybody hope with this missed field goal. And it's just a pull all the way.
Feely had been 10 of 13 on the season. That was a 37-yarder wide left.
It is amazing how it makes you feel. All the players and coaches, you go in and go, hey guys, all right, a lot of bad stuff. 1 score and we're winning. And it truly is, being an ex-player, it's an emotional lift for you.
Combined the 2 teams, they had 6 trips inside the 20 in that half. The 2 teams combined, 3 apiece. And there was only 1 offensive touchdown. Edwards' toss to his rookie tight end, Derek Fine. That was inside the red zone. Will Lynch come back for the 2nd half? Remember, he was nauseous and went in early. Mangini's team leads it off a pair of field goals and an interception return. 13-7 Jets at the intermission. Back with a Sprint halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. And you're watching the NFL on CBS.
Back to our New York studios and the Sprint halftime report. I'm James Brown along with my guys Dan, Bill, Shannon, and Boomer. The score at the half. Jets on top 13-7 in the battle for the AFC East lead there. Dan.
Here we go, Buffalo.
Trent Edwards, he's looking. He goes out to his right. Derek Fine wide open. No one covers him in the back of the end zone. Then he gets picked off, Trent Edwards, by Abram Elam. He goes 92 yards for a touchdown, and he's breaking up. His back's got to be getting stiff. Look, he almost gets home. He gets in there. He gets in there. 92 yards return.
Kind of like me trying to work out with Shannon yesterday, huh? So it up a little bit. All right, Shannon off.
The Ravens, Joe Flacco, he's been playing very well as of late. Here up top. Down below is Mark Clayton, 47 yards later, gets a touchdown.
All right.
10-0 Baltimore. JB, but on the ensuing kickoff, they kicked this ball to Joshua Cribb, who was the AFC returner last year for the Pro Bowl.
Shannon, what happened?
Got to make that play there, son. 92 yards later, he's in the end zone. 10-7. Cleveland is driving 13-10 right now before the half.
All right, guys.
Shannon says pinch him.
Is it upset Sunday or what? How about Ryan Fitzpatrick right here? He's going to pay Chad Johnson, first and 2 touchdowns on the day right in the corner. Now Ryan Fitzpatrick going to come back again to Chad Johnson. Nice catch. He keeps both feet in bounds. So the Bengals going up and down the field. Lots of love there as Chad Johnson was planting a kiss on the face, the cheek of Marvin Lewis.
Fitzpatrick from where, Boomer?
That would be
Harvard. Thank you. Dan got on my case last time about that. Bill.
Kerry Collins, he's going to find Chris Johnson out of the backfield on this screen pass. He's going to take a 25 yards for a first down and a subsequent field goal. But Aaron Rodgers is going to bring it back after a big pass to Jennings. He's going to hit Donald Driver for a 5-yard touchdown pass. After a 54-yard Lendell White run, Chris Johnson takes over from 3, and at the half, it's 13-10 Tennessee.
Well, that cash will make you see even better, right? For Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
No question about it.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
Hey, Gus Rutt, his ball gets deflected here. Jaquez Reeves picks it off. Where's he end up? Where's he going? He's going to the end zone. 44 yards later. That ties the game at 7, and Gus Rutt comes back. Watch this nice catch and move by Bernard Berry, and after this catch, boom, he steps back inside.
On the ground.
Yeah, 49 yards later, putting Minnesota up 21-7.
Meanwhile, Lions and Bears. Shannon.
Bears already up 3-0. Kyle Orton can't find anybody. That touchdown run right there, JB might have made him $9 million. Detroit coming into today's game had only 23 second quarter points. Today, a lot more. Dan Orlovsky, Sean McDonald, 14 yards. Kyle Orton. See, Kyle Orton goes down right here. He would be carted off the field. We don't know. We'll keep you abreast of what's going on with him.
Right,
but the Detroit Lions are having a big day in Chicago. 23-13 at the half.
That right ankle of Orton there, boy, not looking good. We'll keep you abreast.
Let's keep the upsets coming so far. Why do you play the game, Shannon?
You play to win the game.
There's Dwayne Bowen. He wasn't on coach's wide receiver list either. I don't know why. But Tyler Thigpen, he's going to hand it off to Colby Smith. 14-0 Kansas City. How about this little razzle-dazzle? Mark Bradley, he's going to come around after the Wildcat formation. Throws the ball to who, Shannon?
Tyler Thigpen.
The quarterback. That's not supposed to happen.
Why isn't he on your list, Coach?
He wasn't on there either.
And here's the longest kickoff return in Tampa history. It's going to be Clifton Smith. Go 97 yards. John McGraw, make the tackle. Make the tackle. What? I don't know, but I'll tell you what. Kansas City's playing great. They're playing tough. A lot of upsets thus far at this point. 24-10 over the Buccaneers.
Well, there was no silicone on that jersey, was it? My
God.
Well, we had the grid of Mark Bulger. He's going to drop back. He's going to find Derek Stanley. Watch this acrobatic catch and subsequent run for an 80-yard touchdown pass. And then we have the bad of Mark Bulger. He's going to go back to throw this one up. Antrell Rolls going to intercept it. He's going to take it back 40 yards for a touchdown to tie it up at 7. And then Arizona's going to take the lead with a 30-yard Tim Hightower run and a field goal, 17-7 at the half, or close to the half with Arizona.
Looking to the second half, the Jets and Bills, thought is?
Well, I'll tell you what, the Bills are trying to give this game away. They just got to convert when they're in the red zone.
Take care of the football.
Second half coming your way right after this.
And the Bills emerging from the locker room, getting set for the second half, trailing 13-7. They came in with a 5-2 record, a game ahead of the New York Jets in the AFC East. And they moved ahead of them early in this game. Edwards with a touchdown pass to Fine, his first career grab, going for 6. Looked like they were shutting down the Jets early, but then suddenly Elam with the pick in the 92-yard run back. Jets could have had a 2-score advantage, but they missed before the half. Second half coming up just a moment here on CBS. begin. Jim Nance, Phil Simms back here at Ralph Wilson Stadium. Now, if the Jets were to win this game and then the Colts tonight at home defeat New England, it would be a three-way tie in the AFC East. But first, we got a whole lot to decide here. 2 quarters to play. Buffalo will receive the second half kick. What are you looking for, Phil?
Better play, I guess. You know, just a lot of mistakes in the first half. The turnovers, the penalties, you know, the things that you just wouldn't expect now. We talked about it to start the game, Jim. This is the 8th game. Time to clean it up, trying to get things in order so you can get a playoff run going and get hot. And neither team really showed that in the first half.
You look downright upset about it there, partner.
I don't know if I'm upset.
You want some good play. And this game brought to you in high definition here on CBS.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, I know they're good teams, and there's a lot of speed and a lot of stuff going on. But mistakes, again, 8th game of the year. We heard it from both coaches, from the players. Time to put it together.
McKelvin has had a couple of good kick returns. Edwards about to take the field. His team could have been down, who knows? Jets had a first down inside the 15 in the last 2 minutes and failed to score anything. Could have been a 20-7 score. Just 13-7, however, as this time it's well covered down the field by Wallace Wright. And what do you see out of the first half numbers, Phil?
Well, a lot. You know, first off, you hear points off of turnovers. These really are points off of turnovers. The takeaway by the Jets, one for a touchdown, the other one in field goal range right away. But rushing yards, neither team able to really establish physical dominance on the other team's defense. So it's been about just trying to find ways to throw the football. For the Bills, they can do anything. For the Jets, their passing game is really just getting rid of the football very quick, trying to avoid mistakes.
No Marshawn Lynch in the lineup. He left midway through that first half. He reported that he was sick. He's still holding him in the locker room. Ball tipped, and Revis almost got a jump on him. Flu-like symptoms is a report from the Bills as he remains in the locker room. First half scoring. Jets took that opening drive off a big screen pass to Leon Washington and kick return, led to 3. And then the touchdown pass, another field goal, the interception, putting New York in front. And as I look down on the field, I see Lynch has just returned and immediately heads to the stationary bike. Second down and 10. Lynch's screen pass that really set up the first touchdown of the game. And there's a completion to the man who had that touchdown. Derek Fine goes for 6. 3rd and 4 on the way. They drove it down the field again off the big Lynch catch and run. Took them just 3 plays. Fine with the grab for the score, but then they fumbled. It was Edwards being hit viciously by Revis, set up a Jets field goal. Then the interception was run back for a touchdown. Those 3rd and 4th series, they had the football for over 15 minutes on the field and did not score. With the Jets offense never having a snap in that sequence. 3rd and 4. Edwards, pass, knocked down, incomplete. Intended for Roscoe Parrish. Drew Coleman back there defending.
Not a good decision by Trent Edwards. They're going to do a double move. Roscoe Parrish, an out and an up. The Jets are not full because look at the safeties. Everybody. Trent Edwards, it took too long. He looked over there for too long, and he's very lucky the football was not intercepted.
Coleman had his back turned. Elam came over to assist. This is the first punt of the day for Buffalo. Ryan Moreeeee. Look out, he's running with it. Moreeeee getting chased. There is a flag. The Jets are going to be the beneficiaries of this flag. I think it's going to be a clip call against Buffalo as Moreeeee took off running. Would have had enough for the first, and it is against the Bills, a holding call.
Well, they haven't marked it. Where did he go out of bounds? That's the big key to this whole situation.
Eric Mangini coming out onto the field.
Eric Mangini wants him to at least measure.
Holding. Offense number 43. The penalties declined. The play did not result in a first down. First down, Jets.
Well, you got 2 special teams coach, Bobby Abel for the Buffalo Bills, But here comes the fake punt. You talking about being caught up? There's the hold on in the backfield.
See.
Well, he made the first down too, Jim. That's what I was.
That's what they were telling.
To see.
They were explaining to Mangini he would have had the first because, again, had he been short, they would have declined it.
No, they're saying he didn't have the first. Eric Mangini
there you go.
It.
Okay. Now I think you might have a challenge here. I think there might be a challenge coming from the Bills. It looks like to me he's out past the 28. They've marked it back at the 26. They've mismarked this. Is he out earlier? No. Look, there you see where he had to get for the first. Look at his right foot.
Where's the football? Everything cross.
There is a challenge. I think this is going to end up being a Bills win on the challenge, and they'll end up punting. Scott was the one who was called for the hold, which is going to come back into play. You got to think here, Phil. This was mismarked. They marked it right there at the 26 where he is about right now, but doesn't go out until past the first down yardage, it appears. Out of across the 28. So they originally had spotted at the 26, which would have been, again, turning down a penalty for the Jets and giving the ball for New York at the Bills' 26.
Jim, I think they'll mark it. It's where your foot or the football goes out of bounds. It looks like they're very close. The fact that he's going up the sideline, I think you got to mark it where his foot went out past the 28. And of course, if he gets the first down, the Jets will then have the option of taking the penalty. But since he's going parallel to the line of scrimmage, the foot hits out of bounds past the 28. The football is right there. That's where you mark the football. So you're going to mark it just past it. Now, if he was running directly towards the sideline, they then I think would have more discretionary evidence to put it where the football is.
Here's the thing: they mark it like right here. Okay, is there any way you see him being out at that point? That's where the mark is.
No, I mean that's definitely evident. We don't even have to argue
So that's what's been challenged. I mean, it's not even close. So off a couple of yards. And the end result should be now the Jets will have to accept the penalty and the Bills will have to punt.
After review, the runner went out of bounds in advance of the line of game. However, there's a holding penalty on the play, holding number 43 offense. That penalty will be assessed from the previous spot, makes it 4th down. Buffalo is not charged.
Falls within a yard of the first. He got away from Greer, was able to collect 9.
You know, it was interesting there. Play action fake. Brett Favre is deep, and he didn't even really give the play time down the field to develop. And you know, when you do play action fakes, and You get a quarterback 10 yards deep, you want to throw it down there and make a big play, but immediately went to the short receiver, Thomas Jones, and just picked up the 8 or 9 yards.
Again, they line up Turner, the lineman, on the left side. On 2nd and 1, the big man coming in motion. And the carry, Jones able to very smoothly, nifty moves, pick up 6, sidestepping a couple of hits.
Well, usually when you do a formation like that, you bring in Robert Turner and he comes in motion. What it did, it enabled the running back to cut back. So with the backside blocking, watch big number 75, and the run is to the right, but the defense chases so hard as he comes backwards, there's a lane over there, so that helps. But when they do a formation like that, you keep looking for that trick play off of it.
They used that unbalanced line a number of times last week against Kansas City. Here's the quick throw, and it's a completion to Coles for another Jets first down for 14.
Well, it's definitely a lot of things I'm seeing here today by this Jets offense. They want to avoid the mistakes. They're getting rid of the football. Most of the passes are short. Brett Favre is a tremendous thrower of the short passes in this league. And it's one way where they can beat this Bills defense is to beat it quick and fast before they can react.
Robert Turner, here he comes in motion. On first down, and the late toss, Jones grabbed by the ankles. Ryan Denny, a loss of 1. The AFC East again, New England tonight at Indianapolis. What do you see in that game? Jets, this could be a 3-way tie. Who knows at the end of the day? What do you see with the Colts and Patriots tonight?
Well, I don't know. How's that first analysis?
No, come on now.
I mean, it's endless to the possibilities. But the Colts being at home, their crowd, that's what they're hoping for. Get their passing game going, because that's how they're going to win it. You beat the Patriots, you got to beat them with your passing game and your pass rush.
2nd down and 11. Down the field, and the catch is made at the 10 by Dustin Keller.
Dustin Keller, I know they had some hopes today of trying to throw it to him, but Brett Favre wants to go to his right, nothing, and just keeps scanning the field. And Dustin Keller, tight end, split wide as a wide receiver to the outside, comes across, makes a nice tough catch.
Only the 2nd completion of the game over 15 yards. The other one being the screen pass on the first play of the game to Leon Washington. 1st and goal to go for New York. Jones squirms to about the 6.
Thomas Jones on the carry.
Boy, after that last long drive before the half, and this one here, pretty impressive by the Jets, and they've really figured out what they want to do. And as even if you're a casual fan, as you've watched this game today, you can see the Jets are repeating a series of plays. We've seen it with Turner coming in and splitting out wide, the short passes, the running plays. Not a lot of variation they like you usually see.
2nd and goal from the 6. Favre hit right on release. Incomplete.
Favre's pass incomplete.
Kyle Williams and Brian Scott both.
Hey, it's got to be a sense of urgency here. If you're a receiver, you got to know that everybody is at the line of scrimmage. So you got to make it happen quick. And that's what it doesn't happen fast enough. That's what really happened to the Jets that time. Dustin Keller was late getting off the snap of the football, made Brett Favre hold it a little longer than he wanted to.
Favre making some changes here with 2 on the play clock. Takes it from under center, 3rd and goal. And down to the 2 with Leon Washington. This will bring out Feely, you've got to think. This is the 4th time inside the red zone for the Jets.
Oh yeah, you got to kick this.
Without a touchdown.
You got to kick it. And Brett Favre, that was a change of plays. It was a pressure defense. Tried to hand it off real quick and get up the middle where the defense couldn't react to it. But Buffalo did a good job seeing it.
20-yard try. Good from 37 and 26. And missed in the last 20 seconds of the first half from 37. Reggie Hodges on the hold, and the kick is good. Hodges doing a good job. That snap a little to the inside and high. Got it down. Kick's good. We are back at Ralph Wilson Stadium. Jim Nance, Phil Simms on the scene here. Jets now with 13 unanswered points. They get a field goal on their first series of the second half. They had a field goal on their first series of the game. Only touchdown today, an interception return for a touchdown. Kelvin sweeps it off the ground. Now takes off running with it and is smothered at the 28. 16-7 the deficit for Edwards and company. Well, look who's back on the field. It's Marshawn Lynch, who's had flu-like symptoms and has been out for most of the game. The Bills have not been able to run the football against this Jets defense. Lynch maybe gets a yard or two out of that. Chris Jenkins with a hit.
Well, this Jets defense today just not. Buffalo just can't move them back to get their running game going. But it's been led by Chris Jenkins on the inside. On the season, they give up 82 yards a game. Today, only 18. And everybody up front, the linebackers really being tough in their discipline and making sure there are no gaps where the running backs can go.
18 yards rushing on 14 carries. Edwards goes to the air and right at the first down yardage as Derek Fine. Again, did not have a single catch coming into the week, but that's his third already. You can vote for your favorite players for the 2009 Pro Bowl today at NFL.com. That will give you a chance to win a trip to Hawaii to see the Pro Bowl in person. Vote online or on your mobile phone only at NFL.com/Pro Bowl. That catch good enough for the first. And there you see the Bills. They've come from behind in the second half in 4 of their 5 wins. 3 of those wins, in fact, were fourth quarter comebacks. Lynch still on his feet. And a tough 2 yards. Update time it is. James Brown, take it away.
Jim and Phil, Ravens won the Week 3 matchup with Cleveland by 18, but take a look at Derek Anderson up top, 28 yards to Braylon Edwards, and the score is good. Cleveland on top by 7. 11:04 left in the third. Back to Jim and Phil.
Wow. Well, you can see that Frank Walker of the Ravens saying, wait a minute, I got the football at the end of that. But the touchdown goes to Edwards, and the Browns have a chance today if they win it to get back to 4-4. Pretty good considering that was an 0-3 start. Timeout called by the Bills. They've done this now for the 3rd time in this game. The offense calling a timeout. Little confusion. Over at the Anchor Bar. Buffalo wings. Where they all started. Being served up. I missed them last night at dinner, you know.
Oh, you had some?
Yeah, I had some. About a dozen.
So much for your diet.
Still lost out to Barrow by about 3 dozen. From the 41, 2nd down and 8. And Edwards. Pocket is sealed. Pass incomplete. May have been deflected at the line. It was by Bauha. Sione getting a hand on it.
Yeah, he definitely knocks the football down. Just the initial reaction by Trent Edwards. He looks down the field. They're not getting open as quick. And the Buffalo Bills were really hoping to throw a lot of passes inside today against these big Jet linebackers because they're big. You can't do it all when you got the size of a defensive end playing linebacker. So they thought they could throw some passes on him, and it hasn't worked as well.
It is 3rd and 8, and there's a wide open target. Parrish cuts it back middle and then dives to the 38. So the Bills offense comes up with a play. 21 yards.
Yeah, something they worried about a lot today. In the slot, Parrish. They lost Josh Reed, but look at that quick move, and he is wide open. And it looks like Drew Coleman goes, well, isn't somebody supposed to help me? because he points a finger as he's running out towards the sideline. But wide open, good throw by Trent Edwards.
On first down, Edwards has another completion. That's Fred Jackson. Update time it is. James Brown.
Jim, Bears looking for the season sweep against the winless Lions, but it is not easy. Rex Grossman in for the injured Kyle Orton. 6 yards there to Rasheed Davis, capping a 5-play, 49-yard drive. Lions lead narrowed to 3 late in the third. Back to Jim Nantz. Phil Simms.
All right, so Detroit winless in front. Cincinnati winless, 21-3 up on Jacksonville. Both perhaps getting that first win today, but the Bears are coming back. Movement on the left side for the Bills.
False start. Offense number 71. A 5-yard penalty. It remains second down.
Tomorrow on CBS, Olympia Dukakis pays a visit to TV's #1 new comedy, Worst Week, After 2.5 Men on CBS, America's most watched network. The penalty backs him up to the 38, gives up the 5 yards gain on that pass play before the update to Jackson. So second down and 10. Jets looking on, getting the quarterback, and they do. Chris Jenkins and Brian Thomas.
Well, it's Jets defensive line. They've been winning the battle all day long when it comes to stopping the run, and they've had flashes of getting to the quarterback, but not ever quite getting there. But as this game is wearing on, they are getting some pressure on Trent Edwards, and they're getting that pressure. Boy, good job by Chris Jenkins, because this Bills offensive line, they're doubling Chris Jenkins inside. That's singling up outside pass rushers. That's when you expect them to get there.
Third sack of the day. Third and long. Edwards goes underneath. Parrish. Jets gave it to him. He's at the 35. That might bring Lindell, you would think, into play here. Gains 8. We'll be looking at about a 52, 53-yard field goal. He certainly has the leg to do it.
They're making that decision now on what to do. We talked about the win in Buffalo to the Buffalo players and coaches, and they say sometimes from the 50-yard line it can be blowing towards the end zones in both directions. So it's hard to figure out, but the wind must favor them right now to try this long field goal.
Look at the flags above. I think it's in 2. It's 53 yards. His long of the season's 48. Career long 54. This is one short of that. Into the wind. Beautiful boot, and it is good. Ryan Lindell from 53 yards. 16-10 New York, third quarter. Well, we're back after the Bills connect from 53 yards. Ryan Lindell puts it on a tee now after 9 plays, 36 yards. Big play, 21-yard completion to Parrish on third down. Brings it back within a 1-score game. Leon Washington looking for the return. Kick toward the sideline, and it stays in the field of play. Washington saying, wait a minute, I was standing out of bounds, so I grabbed the ball. He wants the kick being ruled out of bounds, put the ball at the 40.
That is Mike Westhoff, special teams
Kickoff out of bounds. The receiving team player was out of bounds.
Play.
Heads up.
When he touched the ball. By rule, that is a kickoff out of bounds. The ball is placed at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, Westhoff loving that, and Leon Washington just knows so many different ways to make a big play, difference maker.
Oh, that is really, he knew he was in trouble. The ball didn't go out of bounds. So how about that? The presence of mind to stick that right foot out there, get it out of bounds, and then make his first initial contact with the football once he's done that.
Eric Mangini, who talked about him last night about what a difference maker he's been, and when he came here as a rookie, he couldn't hold on to the ball, made him run laps. Said he ran enough laps to run a New York Marathon. Now he's just making plays every week. Favre stepping up, dumps it. And Jones gets tripled up by the likes of Kavika Mitchell. Goes for 4 yards. Another short pass here, Phil.
Brett Favre today, this is part of their game plan. Let's get it out of his hand. Let's make sure he's not getting hit too much. But really, what it says, this is the way you attack this Buffalo defense. And look at the numbers, 1 to 14 yards and 15 plus. He's 3 for 4. So it's been a good game plan. And as the game has gone on, they've started executing it better and better. And the only pass play of over 20 yards was that little dump screen to Washington at the start of the game. The second play of the game, Favre again. Jones easily with the first. And back into Buffalo territory, ridden down by McGee. Goes for 14. Yeah, it really is. It's down the field, but the defense, it's a blitz. And when they blitz, they had the defense all back to prevent the big play, so it just creates really big avenues to throw the football underneath, that time to Thomas Jones. And this is the philosophy of the Buffalo Bills, what they do on defense. Let's kind of bend, but don't break. So if they say, we'll let you throw it short, we're just going to keep tackling, but the Jets getting better at catching it and running with it. Favre's been dumping these last two and then just takes off running alongside Jones as long as he can. That defense of Buffalo without Aaron Schobel. We got a timeout. Schobel inactive today. Timeout called by New York inside of 2 minutes to go in the third. Get a chance to set the Saturday menu. Number 1 now, Alabama, after Texas lost last night at LSU. Vern Lundquist and Gary Danielson will have that call next Saturday for you. Nick Saban's going back to LSU, where he used to coach. Going back now is number 1. All starts with our guys, Tim Brando, Spencer Tillman, in the studio with the TIAA Prep College Football today. It's a big day. Alabama, LSU next Saturday on CBS. You know, Brett Favre here today has a chance to win in yet another stadium. This is the 42nd different NFL stadium he's played in. He's won games in 31 stadiums, Phil. And that's currently tied for the most wins ever. When you look at, you know, the history of the league, wins in different stadiums. First down and 10. Makes the pass. Goes Cotchery. Cotchery inside the 20, inside the 10, and down at the 6. Well, that was well designed by the Jets. They do the play action fake, and it brings up the defense. Look in the middle of the screen. Look at that little void, and the receiver cutting across it. The perfect throw, which we've seen Brett Favre make about 5,000 times in his career, right on target, and that creates the big play. Goes for 35. Gives him a first and goal to go at the 7. Jones to the end zone, and a touchdown, New York Jets. 7 yards right up the middle. Jets dominated early in this game, but they have turned it around. They have been dominating ever since that long drive right before halftime. And what blocking up front. Kelsey blocked inside. Ellison can't get there. This offensive line, talked about it early, being pushed around. The quick passing game gave him some confidence, got him some rhythm, and now they're starting to run it too. First offensive touchdown of the game for the Jets. Feely adds the extra point, and finally on their 5th red zone trip of the afternoon, the Jets produce a touchdown. Well, again, this is the 4th time that Brett's been in this Ralph Wilson Stadium, has not won, but here are the other ones with 31 stadium wins, if you will. McNair and Marino.
and Favre, all with 31.
It's interesting. I would have never guessed Steve McNair. I mean, he had a tremendous career and successful.
Look at stadiums with multiple starts and having never won. Texas Stadium. Of course, the Cowboys move into a new venue next year, so Ralph Wilson Stadium, Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia on that list. I ran across one today.
Yeah, what's that?
As he's trying to get the Jets to 5-3 and into the postseason, only one 39-year-old starting quarterback has ever taken his team to the postseason in the history of the league. Any idea who that might be?
I don't. Well, go ahead. You tell me.
I'm looking at you. I think you know. It is you.
Well, I can't really give you a direct answer on that, because how old was I really?
Well, I know this. You want to figure it out. Your birthday is tomorrow, right?
I don't know.
You don't know about that either? It's a happy birthday. Am I close? Have I got it right?
Yeah, you're close. You are. You're in the area.
Okay. So you're part 38, part 39.
Somewhere there.
Yeah,
it's always
something. Brenda's birthday is in October. McKelvin. Try that right side, which is opening up a little bit if he can get the edge. Oh, ridden down. That was well done by Cody Spencer. Holds it to a 25-yard run back, and we do have a flag.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 57 of the return team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Well, the Bills will have to work with a long field.
I got to tell you, I've watched all the Jets games this year, and this little stretch they're going through here is about as impressive I've seen by both sides and just putting it all together. And that was kind of what you were talking about with Eric Mangini. We want to see all these pieces they brought in during the offseason. They want to. It's got to start clicking, because we're getting to the halfway point. It's time to get it going. And there's Bobby April,
special teams coach for the Bills.
Oh man, he's coaching them all the way through the play, and then the disappointment comes. Bobby April, Mike Westhoff, probably two of the best special team coordinator in the last 15, 20 years of the NFL.
With Lynch in the lineup, Edwards throws, pulled down, beautiful grab by Derek Fine. Marshawn Lynch did a good job of picking up a blitzing Abram Elam. Goes for 20.
Yeah, look how long it took for it to open up, and Trent Edwards being very sure and careful about his decision making when he throws it down the field. But oh, Marshawn Lynch, nice job. A delayed blitz by the Jets secondary, and Marshawn Lynch not being caught. Didn't get caught napping that time. Gets over there and gets the block.
The play action here as Edwards flings it. Oh, a good tackle too by Eric Barton, preventing what would have been a long run by Lynch. He could have broken that for a big gainer. Holds him to 5 yards.
Yeah, they're trying to work these big linebackers, and that time Robert Royal was against David Bowens going across the field wide open, but Trent Edwards saw the short receiver first.
We've been exclaiming the play of Derek Fine, who's again had all these catches in this game. He didn't see his first action of the season until last week, coming off a thumb injury. We're going to the fourth with the Jets up 13. Trent Edwards took him down the field, threw a touchdown the first time they had it. Very little sense, no running attack to work with either, and the Jets have been really game planning here with the passes underneath. The dump off passes worked perfectly on their last possession, led to the touchdown run by Thomas Jones, 136-yard pass play to Jericho Cotchery being the difference on that drive. But we start the fourth quarter. Jim Nantz, Bill Sims, the Jets with no giveaways, no sacks allowed, and leading at 23-10. 2nd and 5 for the Bills from their own 40. Open, Royal in the secondary into the Jets 40. 21 they gain.
Just good execution, good design this time. The play action fake allows Robert Royal to get down the middle. You saw no linebacker was with him, and right away he knew it. With the play action fake, going to have a chance to throw it to his tight end, and he finally spots him. Another perfect spiral from Trent Edwards.
Trying to lead the Bills back from behind. They've had 3 fourth-quarter comeback wins this year. But this time they're down 13 as Jenkins was coming in. Almost forced the interception. That was Barrett trying to make a play on it. Chris Jenkins smashed the quarterback just after he got it away. Forced him to throw it wildly.
Well, that's what caused his interception for a touchdown. Chris Jenkins, he's really brought along and brought to this Jets team to help their run defense. But what they have found out, he's so big and athletic that he's getting pressure from the inside, and that's always trouble for a quarterback, pressure in his face.
They've only rushed for 20 yards on 15 carries today. Running play this time. Lynch. And this, really their best run. As you have Coleman holding on to the ankle. A gain of 6.
Well, you kind of know if the Buffalo Bills throw an incomplete pass on first down, doesn't happen a whole lot, that they're going to run it on second down. His knee did not hit. They're going to run it on second down to make sure they have a very good chance on third of picking it up with a short pass. So even though the Jets know this game plan, not able to stop Lynch until he gets 7 yards.
Might be 4-down territories. You see Bob Sutton, defensive coordinator of the Jets.
It is 4-down territory.
Got to get to the 29 here on third down. Lynch leans for it, and will they give him the spot? I don't believe so. Well, hold on. Look at the left leg. The left foot.
I thought we had a
first down.
I thought we had a new book coming. Where they mark it with your left leg, right? But that's why they run it on this down. I believe, Jim, just what you said. If this would have been early in the game, they would have thrown it. But since they know they're going for it, on fourth down, if they don't make it, you got a really generous spot because it's down. They give him where he almost, well, no, I shouldn't say that. It's about where he did hit. They marked it on the 29.
First down, Fred Jackson back in. Edwards with a flag down in the secondary. Royal to the 15.
It's taken a while, but they've got to that matchup. Robert Royal against David Bowens. They'll be holding on Bowens.
Holding. Defense number 96. Penalties decline. The play results in a first down.
Robert Royal, all he is just a bigger wide receiver. Down the middle of the field. Oh, he grabbed him by the arm, made contact, past the 5-yard mark. Well, the other thing we haven't talked about, Lee Evans has been matched up with Darrell Revis most of the day, and Revis has done a tremendous job on him.
He's been almost invisible so far. Edwards looking the other way. Jenkins twisting him down and really throwing him to the turf.
Jets, just like the Buffalo Bills, have gotten and had a little success when they rush 3 guys, because when they, this time it's 3, Chris Jenkins just over, oh my gosh.
Watch his head here, the quarterback just slammed down.
Yep.
Jenkins with his 2nd sack, and I gotta think Edwards is a little more than groggy, although he's still in there.
But Jenkins overpowered Jason Whittle to get that sack.
He has had concussion issues in his career. That's the 4th time he's been sacked. 2nd and 16, he comes out throwing and knocked away at the last moment. What a play by Kerry Rhodes. It looked like Evans might have a play on the touchdown.
Yeah, you're right. You said it, Kerry Rhodes. Tall for a safety in the NFL, and at the last second, not enough contact against Lee Evans at the line of scrimmage. Watch the break, times it, gets over there and knocks it down. Kerry Rhodes has been all around the football this year, not getting the stats that he usually does, but you know what? You keep hanging around where that football is, sooner or later it's going to come your way with fumble recoveries, calls fumbles, or interceptions.
3rd and 16. They're on him, and they get him at the 25. C.J. Mosley and Sean Ellis both make a play on Edwards.
Watch the 2 receivers going across your screen. They were trying to cross and get the Jets confused. But again, the coverage down the field's good enough to allow the defense that extra time. Watch this, Robert Roy, watch them crossing. They don't get it done. They don't confuse or rub or pick the defenders. That's why Trent Edwards had nowhere to throw the football.
Lindell made it from 53 in the third quarter. Ryan Neal, the long snapper to Brian Moorman. And this kick from 43 yards is wide left, no good. Nothing out of it. Jets remain on top 23-10. Lindell had made a 53-yarder, just 1 yard shy of his career long, but this time a foot wide left from 43. Giving the Jets the football at the 33. And the 13-point lead, fourth quarter. Favre, dangerous throw, it's picked off. It's picked off by Greer, and he is taking it back for the touchdown. And Favre is down. Kozlowski hit him right when he released it. A 43-yard run back to put the Bills right back into the game.
Pressure on Brett Favre. Just like last week, he got hit one time when he was throwing it. It led to an interception. It's just single coverage on the outside. The Jets got what they want. What coverage by Jabari Greer. We talked about it starting this game. They put a lot of pressure on their corners to just get it done. You and the guy. And that time, I'd say that's getting it done.
40,
covering, intercepting, and getting a touchdown.
You did marvel at the two corners, Greer and McGee, and Favre's 300th career interception is one that's run back, the third run back of a Favre pass for a touchdown this year. Suddenly this game is 23-17. Jabari Greer, his second run back of a pass this season, and a second week in a row Favre seen one go the other way. Short kick. Fielded on one hop by Washington. Taken down by a whole group of Bills special teamers.
Well, Jim, let's go back and look at the interception. Robert Turner, we've seen this about 5 times today, comes in motion, and they've run it every time. Out and up on the top of your screen by Jericho Cotchery. It's a blitz by the Bills. Look at the pressure on Brett Favre, but look at the coverage. Top of the screen. Who's running the route? Is it Cotchery or Jabari Greer? And watch Greer's footwork as he covered him too. I will show it to you maybe after this play.
As raucous as it's been all day. First down and 10. 10 minutes and change to go as Jones ducks for 3 yards. Dante Whitner coming up along with Keith Ellison. Here you go, Phil.
Well, watch it. It looks like they're doing the same dance steps. Oh my gosh. It is in unison. Well, you put that on the highlight reel and tell all your defensive back this is how you play the double move and man-to-man coverage in the NFL.
Two offensive touchdowns, 2 defensive touchdowns. Each quarterback's had one go the other way. Second down, Favre again goes underneath. Jones is trying to shake free from Kozlowski, but here is a look at the Favre miscues on the year. Cromartie got him in San Diego.
That was just a tremendous play by Cromartie. Fumble there, pick up.
Yep.
Wide receiver stopped on that one, hurt him. Today's the pressure, and he's been so careful with the football today. That was of course, I think their #1 goal. Let's just don't turn it over and see what happens. But pressure, hitting the quarterback, leads to turnover.
3rd and 3. That picks up the first. That's Cotchery. Took a vicious hit from McGee and held on. 6 yards, enough for a first. Cotchery's a tough character.
Yeah, he is, and this Bills defense is getting back to what they were early in the game. Just making everything rough and tough. Make you pay. That's what they do. When you throw it short, they hit you.
Whitner went to the sideline. Right shoulder looking sore. Reggie Corner has replaced him on first down. Again, they dump it underneath with Dustin Keller for 4 yards. Next week on CBS, a doubleheader day. Early, many will see Tennessee at Chicago in the anchor position, and then late Indianapolis and Pittsburgh, Peyton and Ben in the national doubleheader game, and it all begins at noon next Sunday with JB and all the guys, Dan Shannon, Coach Cowher, Boomer, the NFL Today. Second down, back over to Brant Smith, probably going to throw a block, and does, and Smith near a first. They spot him short of it by a half yard.
Well, short passes, that was the key. Short passes and a couple reverses we've seen today. Try to take advantage of this defense, but they're in position. Brett Favre.
He got on Co Simpson here.
Yeah, all you got to do is get in the way, and that was plenty good enough.
He did a little more than that. Ryan Scott makes the tackle to keep him short of the first by a half yard. It's third down. They're going to go up top for it. And Jones leans for the first. Jabari Greer, who ran it back, was unable to keep him short of the yardage. They got it right on the number. Just needed one, and that's what he picked up. So with we're approaching here 7 minutes on the clock, the Jets get a new set of downs.
Well, they've changed field position after an interception for a touchdown. The crowd, the momentum, all that stuff. Very tough for an offense to come out and overcome it. The Jets have gotten 2 big first downs.
Whitner's back in the game, back at safety for the Bills. Each team with 2 timeouts, under 7 minutes. Here's Jones with a flag. There is a flag.
Defense, 12 men on the field. At the snap, a 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Well, let's see if they make the wrong 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep, that's 12. Yep. Still a very good run by the Jets.
Whitner had come right back into the game on that play, and I suppose someone forgot to come check out. They set down the play with a momentary shoulder issue, and now he's back out. First and 5 at the 50. Had the football for 4.5 minutes on this possession. They're running after Favre, who just throws it incomplete, and another flag is down. Marcus Stroud was chasing after Favre.
Nelson man downfield. Offense, number 65.
He goes against the Jets. We've got another update from James Brown in New York.
Jim and Phil, Baltimore has erased a 14-point second half deficit. Take a look at Joe Flacco here, hooking up with Derek Mason. Good spin move there. 28 yards to pay dirt, capping a 3-play, 42-yard drive. All knotted at 27. 11:20 left in regulation. Jim and Phil.
All right, thank you, JB. They've come back from 14 down in that game, have the Ravens to tie it. First and 10 for New York. Off the penalty, back up to its 45. They go with Thomas Jones. Good piece of running here. He's got the first and a whole lot more. Took 3 to bring him down. Tony Richardson, the fullback, helping the cause.
Kind of looks like last week for this Jets offense. Throw an interception for a touchdown and come out when the pressure's on, and you really want to, of course, last week to win the football game. Today, to put your team in good position and maybe salt it away. Tony Richardson. Good lead. Good lead block by Tony Richardson.
That picked up 24. And it's down to the 26. That picks up another 7. $87 yards rushing, but on the other side, Buffalo restricted to 30 on the ground. And the Jets now have it inside of 5 minutes. And the crucial thing here, really, a field goal for them at this point would just be huge. Make it a 2-score differential. Neion Washington, the back. They milked it down to 1 on the play clock. At his feet, Favre able to dump it for the short gain, still a yard shy of the first. Washington with the grab. Kyle Williams almost had him before he got it away.
Well, talked about it all week, I'm sure. Don't throw an interception. Get rid of the football. Be careful with it. And besides one play, they've done it all day. Off balance. Look at that throw. Falling down, still able to get it to Thomas Jones to pick up a couple yards.
It is 3rd and 1. Richardson gets the handoff. His first carry as a Jet yields a first down. 14-year man from Auburn who has been a Pro Bowler a number of times. Big productive years in Kansas City, last year with Minnesota. Had only 1 short catch on the season. His first carry is a good one for a first down, and the clock now moves to inside 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, the clock is a problem for the Bills, big time now. What a drive by the Jets.
Seven and a half minutes they've had it, and there's Thomas Jones for 2.
Thomas Jones on the carry.
And the Bills do have 2 timeouts. They had the one they used earlier, in fact, early in the 3rd quarter when they were on offense. They use one here. This is how the Jets have responded to that Jabari Greer interception in return for a touchdown. They've had the football for 11 plays, 60 yards in almost 8 minutes, and Whitner's going in. The 2nd down and 8. They go Leon Washington. Ozlowski grabs a hold of him, not until he gains 5. And now another timeout. Now it'll be the last one for the Bills. 3:02 to go, and a 3rd down on the way. Jets up 6. Nance, Bill Sims back here. Feely might be called on shortly, but there's a 3rd down play to go. Jets up 6. What do you play here?
I would think they would run the football just to take more time off the clock.
Bills have no timeouts if they run it. Even if they fail to produce the first, they can get it down to about 2:10, 2:20, and that's going to be probably the case here. As they stack up, Leon Washington hold them to a yard, and now Feely can come in with the kick. It would make it almost, well, it would make it very difficult for the Bills to come back 2 scores, no timeouts, if he made it.
You know, but let's go back, and I don't think we can overstate it, Jim. The drive by the Jets in a moment where it was very crucial, and you could feel the pressure. You go, well, they might just, the interception for the touchdown, it's going to make your team just blow up. But Brett Favre, he hung in there, and good play call, and all of a sudden they run the football in this drive, better than they have all day long.
Well, they called a timeout with 2:16 to go. Jay Feely, who was called on, signed after Mike Nugent was injured in the first week of the season, remains inactive. Feely will come up for the field goal try. I want to remind you that coming up, Subway post-game show with JB, Dan, Shannon, and Boomer. Coach Cowher. All the latest scores and highlights coming up on the Subway postgame show. Some thrilling finishes all over. Still some things to be decided here.
Well, I think we've seen glimpses of the Jets. It sure didn't start out that way. We've seen some glimpses today of a team that's rounded into form maybe a little bit. They're figuring out their offense, what they want to be. But on the defensive side, stopping the run is one area you go. That gives them a chance down the stretch to be a serious playoff contender.
Dirk to snap it back, 31 yards. Hodges, it's a high snap. Got it down, and the kick is through to put the Jets up 26-17. I'll tell you, Hodges has had to do this a couple of times today.
Everybody, Brett Favre grabbing his head, they just go, they know, this is it. Kick this field goal, we make it, we're going to win this game.
Reaches up for it.
Clean, gets both hands cleanly on it.
Didn't have to spin it too much to get the laces in the right direction. An 8-minute and 41-second drive. Good Brett Favre, he saw that high snap.
Well, you know what? Some of his teammates have done that when he's on the field. Oh man, what is that?
What is he doing?
But you know, everything the Jets, they really proved a lot to me. And I'm kind of like a fan too. The first quarter, I'm going, oh boy, this is never going to fit together for them because they were getting dominated. But they got veterans. That's probably the biggest reason why, or I want to see the Jets come around, or think they can. As you look at their scoring drive, you said it, Jim, 841. They got a lot of veterans. This is not what I look at and say a young football team. And you know, we hear it all the time. What did Trent Edwards say? You come into the league, you look around, and these are grown men.
It's the first thing he thought of when he took action last year as a rookie.
But when you talk about grown men, when you get in this NFL, the longer you stay in it, the angrier you get. And you try to take that and make it a positive for you on the playing field.
Beats it down to the 8, goes Feely. Kelvin. And they all collide, including Feely in on the hit. 2:06 to go, and here comes Trent Edwards. To the 25-yard run back. This Bills team has not lost at home this season. 3-0 coming into this one. Wins over Seattle. A close one, comeback win against Oakland and San Diego 2 weeks back. But they had the oddity, did the Bills, of not playing a division game until their 7th game of the season. They started out 5-1 without anything inside the AFC East. Opened up division play last week with a loss at Miami. Edwards, beautiful throw that time, and that's Royal. It'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. The Bills will snap it from the Jets side of the field when we come back. .1:59 to go. The Subway postgame show follows the action here at Ralph Wilson Stadium. JB, Dan, Shannon, and Comer, Coach Cowher standing by Studio 43 at the CBS Broadcast Center on 57th Street in New York. As Favre looks up to the scoreboard, waiting for the final 1:59 to run off. But the Bills want to try to do something with that time. Edwards. There's Evans. And the ball is taken out. What an alert play, though. Still waiting for a signal here. Ellis with the ball in his hands. Jason Whittle looked like he'd recovered it.
Recovered the ball.
Yep, Whittle with the
down
recovery.
By contact.
Down by contact. Evans, it's been a very quiet day. Just his 3rd catch. Jason Whittle, who stepped in for Brad Butler today at right guard.
Lowry pulls the football out. That's what you do when you get 2 defenders.
Was the knee down before the ball came out?
Yeah, I believe it was. I believe he was down before the football came out. Well, the Buffalo Bills had so many good plays today. but they had a couple miscues that really hurt them. The fumble and this interception by Elam that led that he ran back for a touchdown. The Jets not getting the turnovers they wanted this year, but they got 2 big ones today. They're a major part in the fact that why they're 10 points off the turnovers, why they're leading this game.
Trent Edwards with 284 yards passing. That's establishing a new career high for the young quarterback out of Stanford, who did not see the Bills pick coming last year when they drafted him. 92nd overall, 3rd round. Got a phone call, saw a 716 area code on it, didn't recognize it.
The game clock to 129.
10-second run off because of the injury.
And the clock will start.
They have no timeouts.
We're ready for play.
Brings it down to 129. They have the first down at the New York 30.
No timeouts inside of 2 minutes. An injury that stops the clock, and the clock would have kept running because it was a catch and a fumble in the field of play. That's why they ran 10 seconds off.
Pass to the sidelines, and that's Evans with the catch. Stops the clock, 121.
That's a good drive by the Buffalo Bills. What you do, you keep going forward here, and Jim, you don't even hesitate. If it gets to 4th down, you kick the field goal and you prolong the game. Then you try the onside kick. If it comes down, then you still have time, if you recovered, to have a few plays before you go for the score to try to win it.
With Whittle out, they move Duke Preston to right guard, Melvin Fowler in at center. Going to snap it back here out of the shotgun. And the pass to the end zone, jump ball, and intercepted. That is Revis with the pick. Just as he closed it out week 1 with an interception at Miami, that game was a 1-score differential. Revis with his 4th pick of the year is going to ensure that the Jets pick up a 5th win of the season.
Bought him a screen. He's got him down the field, just him and Hardy man-to-man. And Revis, haven't talked about him much today. You know why? Because the guy he's covering is not getting the football thrown at him.
That was James Hardy, the rookie out of Indiana, 6'6". They tried to just throw it up their jump ball for the former basketball player by way of Indiana.
Threw it short.
Yeah, Revis did have that big play in the first half that set up a field goal where he came in, got the sack, knocked the ball loose from Edwards, and the recovery. And the Jets on their way to 5-3. That's more wins than they had all of last year. And, well, you had a chance to talk to Brett Favre at length yesterday, and this is now starting for him. This is the reason he came here.
Well, look, was it a gamble for Brett Favre to come here? Yes, in a way it was, but he knew what he was getting into when he signed up with the New York Jets. That there was no guarantees that, Jim, and we've talked about this, that this was going to work out great. And it's been rough so far, but he's hung in there. Of course, he has tremendous pride to do what he's done in the NFL. And there were signs today. You got to admit, there were some signs today by this Jets team that let you believe that there's some good things ahead for him.
Favre has had only 1 losing season in his 18-year career. That was back in 2005. They improved to 5-3 at the midway point of the season. Buffalo falls to that same record of 5-3. This win for the Jets, as far as what's happened the first half of the season?
Well, I'd say this win for the Jets is the best one they've had all year long. Coming up to Buffalo and beating a good football team.
32nd Stadium where Favre has won a game. That's more than anyone in history. Phil Simms and Jim Nance saying so long from Ralph Wilson Stadium. Back to the studio in New York.
Advise you to get your parent permission to watch this game.
Them Raiders, boy, they don't want to see the Denver Broncos today. Some bad things gonna happen to the Raiders today.
They don't even want to run that route.
Yeah,